and our last story right now, at least for a little bit, I think, will be this one, and that's Fantastic Four. The pre-sales. They did a lot better than I thought they were going to do, to be honest. I didn't think it was going to bomb, but I didn't know it was going to be this good. Ticketing service Fandango reports that Disney's latest Marvel Studios film, The Fantastic Four: First Steps, has exceeded all of 2025 film titles in first-day advance ticket sales after the title made tickets available this week. How long will it hold that record, though, isn't clear. Superman is set to launch its ticket sales next week. The 130-minute film has the longest runtime of any Fantastic Four movie, and it's the MCU's longest film since Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's really not that long. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes. That's the longest movie.
They've been trimming down a lot. People have been complaining, so yeah. they've been trimming movies down a lot.
Yeah. Thunderbolts spoilers ahead. Okay, so this is well, let me see. Kevin Feige has spoken with Empire about the movie and hinted that the tie-in. Well, I don't want to ruin the Thunderbolts.
The end credit at the end of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that much of a spoiler, though.
I mean, I think people would realize that Fantastic Four is coming anyway. So the question is, I don't want to get too much into the end credits of Thunderbolts. We'll do that another time. But this is more about the fact that the pre-sales did very well, and like they said, I haven't heard a projection yet of what Fantastic Four is going to make the way that I heard like Superman. Did you guys hear anything about that yet?
I thought that was really interesting because tickets went on sale and everybody was like, all the sites crashed. And then I expected like a now tracking forward, right. And that news never came.
No, Superman's did. So it was like, what is that tracking? I still don't think Fantastic Four will hit $1 billion. I think it's got a shot, but I don't think it's going to hit $1 billion, especially with Superman out there kind of picking at the bones first anyway. I think it'll do well. And I got to call him out again. There was a guy that was in here that was saying that we had a bet. He was going to bet me $1,000. And I said, let's do it. Let's do it now. Send it PayPal, however you want to do it. I'll give it back to you if you win. Thunderbolts, he said, would make more than Fantastic Four. To which I said, sir, you are crazy.
This is after Thunderbolts came out?
Before. He has since vanished. We have like Jimmy Hoffa, Gonski. No word where he's been at all. Not even a simple I was wrong. He is nowhere to be seen. In the same way that the guy who said that Jey Uso was a main eventer is also not around anymore. But this being said, Fantastic Four is looking to be a successful movie for Marvel, but I think it's the same thing, Coy, right? It's like, how much money can it make? Opening weekend, yes. Week 2, how do you do week 2? Okay, it is great to have Turtle Beach back. And I've been talking about Turtle Beach. You guys have been raving about Turtle Beach, and why wouldn't you? The Stealth 700 headset that I got, it was so great. It just what stood out to me was the sound, man. Like just playing that Indiana Jones game, as I've told you guys, you could just hear every little thing. I love it. And it's just, it locks me in. It's better than the other previous headsets I've had. I don't like being aware that there's other things going on around me. I like being locked into it and hearing every bit of the sound design and just comfortability, to be honest with you. I could wear them for hours. I did. It's almost like they're so comfortable in my head. I was like, oh, I didn't realize I have these things on. I love how precise the audio is. I just feel like I'm so locked into the game when I'm doing it. And it's like that feeling I get when I'm in the theater. I'm just in the world because of the sound. I love sound. You guys know that. The other thing that's great about it is the 80-hour battery. That's crazy. I mean, you don't even feel like you ever have to even charge it. The worst is you're playing something and then it just craps out on you. And you're like, oh, no. The Stealth 700, it has the industry's first ever cross-play dual wireless transmitter system. What it means is that you can seamlessly switch between your consoles and your PC with just a click of the button. It gets even better. While being connected to your console, the Stealth 700 can connect with your phone for music streaming or taking calls at the same time. Listen to your favorite songs while gaming, and it's all done with the Stealth 700. And this is the easy part. You head to turtlebeach.com, use that code Kristian for 10% off your entire order. 10% off at turtlebeach.com with the promo code Kristian. But you're going to purchase it, and then they're going to say, hey, where'd you hear about us? You say, our show. You support our show, you tell them that we sent you, and get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today.
I'm going to say 700 to 800 million Fantastic Four, which is great. That's a lot of money. Like, that is a huge release. I do think Superman has $1 billion potential. I don't see FF as quite have that potential. I think we're going to have a $2.5 billion or close to $3 billion July because of Jurassic, Superman, and Fantastic. But I think the 9-day clearance from Jurassic to Superman is perfect. I think the 2 weeks from Superman to Fantastic is perfect. My concern is Thunderbolts. It actually isn't even about Superman or Fantastic Four. It's Thunderbolts had an unknown set of characters, so I could see week 1 it doing, decent, but not amazing. I thought it would do better, but I didn't think that'd be huge. It was the drop off week 1 to week 2. It was the lack of bump with the name change funness. It was the lack of word of mouth getting more people in seats. It has an A- cinema score. It's one of the best MCU movies of the last 5 years, and yet it's not beloved enough to not lose some money. That to me means people aren't guaranteed to show up to Marvel in the same way they were. And Fantastic Four is a bigger name. It's a bigger event. It feels like an event movie, but I think you need the combination of event movie and the guarantee Marvel bump and a lot of other factors to equal that Billy. So I'm going to go 700 to 8. And I'm actually tracking it a little lower than I would have been a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
So I saw someone in the chat say 500 to 600 tops. I think 500 is a crazy bet. If it doesn't do well with audiences, 600 is a bad number for them, but it's a possible number. But I think this movie hits 750. Definitely. I think it definitely, especially with the site crashing. And the other thing is it's got no competition afterwards too. Yes, it's got Superman still looming, but eventually Superman's will start to drop off, and then people are like, okay, maybe I'll go see Fantastic Four, because I think that the difference between there's a lot of differences between Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts. And the whole reason I said that to Jimmy Hoffa in the first place was that there's a recognizable thing about the IP about Fantastic Four. The characters are a little bit more, they're more lively, they're more recognizable. There's a more lighter kind of family tone for it. Phantomator, close your ears. Kids can really enjoy this one too. The other one was about mental health. It's about other things as far as it's a tougher subject. It's a tougher sell. It's darker. And it's also an IP nobody knows. And you're 100% Coy. It's also, they don't have that kind of trust that they had with the audience. And there's also budgets. You're going, look, man, that's the first movie of the summer. I don't want to see another comic book movie if I'm a casual fan. I don't care. I don't need to be caught up in all this. Superman's coming out. Yeah, I've always wanted to see Superman. I was a fan of Superman as a kid. I'll see it. Oh, Fantastic Four. I love the Fantastic Four. I'll go check them out. That's more so than what are the Thunderbolt, the new event? I don't know what that is. I'm not going to see that.
Also, I think one thing that's going to benefit FF that didn't benefit Thunderbolts is, and this is probably only $100 million worth of the reason, I do feel like the characters being from Marvel stuff that weren't as beloved affected people like, oh, I didn't see that one. Should I watch that first? I don't have time. And Fantastic Four, I think they're doing a pretty good job making it clear it's its own thing. I think there will be some people that are like, do I have to see the other stuff first? But the people that follow movie quotes, which there aren't as many as like the masses, I'd say 85% of the average person doesn't know Matt Shackman talking about that. You don't have to watch anything. That's like for the 15% that are movie devout. But I do think the trailers and the marketing has done a good job outside of that to make it clear you could just watch this. I think that'll help it. But I think Superman is very clear that it's just Superman.
Yeah. Winston?
I think Coy touched on this a little bit, but I think the other big thing here is the idea that we're once again tapping into not just an IP that's pretty big, but we're also tapping into, it's been off in a whole other universe with Fox this entire time. So you're also getting that draw of what do the Fantastic Four look like inside the MCU, which is going to also pique interest because again, recognizable names, recognizable characters. We've seen all of that kind of stuff versus, as you mentioned with Thunderbolts, as good as the movie was, a lot of those characters are so much lower on the totem pole, relatively speaking. And we're not in the age of throwing an Iron Man or throwing a Guardians like what Marvel's doing so well that like we'll immediately get it. I think all of that is why I would have, as much as I like Thunderbolts, I would have never have made that bet. I would have said that I prefer to see the Thunderbolts over Fantastic Four, but there's no world where I would have said Thunderbolts would have outpaced
I said the
Fantastic
same
Four.
thing, Winston. I said the same thing, and I still feel the same thing. I still think out of the two movies, I feel Thunderbolts is going to be the better movie, quality wise.
I think so.
Yeah, I think as far as story and connection to characters, I still feel Thunderbolts is going to be the better one. I think Fantastic Four is going to destroy it in box office because of all the. You're muted, Coy, but I believe what you're saying.
I think the quality is going to be as disparate as the box office. I think Thunderbolts is going to be like an A minus. I think this is going to be like a B plus. They're both going to do well, but like Thunderbolts lost money. I don't think Fantastic Four will.
Well, I have to ask everybody here. Fantastic Four, what does it do? Does it do very well? Does it do mid, as the kids say? What say you? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know how you feel it's going to do.